Well, we had sex, and
It started a fight.
he claimed to have written it afterwards, but I was like, while he was getting the towel nice and warm and damp for me, I was actually writing the lyrics, and then he cleaned me off, and then
The towel was so hot.
collaboration.
It was sex on fire.
So I had my arm in a sling like this, and I went to the doctor, and I was like, I'd had surgery a few days earlier. I was like, all right, so what about, playing music and writing and stuff? And he was like, I don't want you to touch a guitar for 9 months. And I kind of looked at him, he was like, I know, you're gonna. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna, because we had like a gig a few months down the road. So I went home, and I pulled off the little sling, and my arm only reached this far. Like, that's all I could do. And I hadn't written any songs. That was the first song of the record that I'd written. And I wrote it a bunch of different ways. I wrote the lyrics a bunch of different ways. It was like, I knew like Sex on Fire kind of had a ring to it, but I made it about this couple that hated each other, and the only thing that kept them together was sex. And then I wrote another version that was like very graphic and filthy. And then I wrote another version, and by the end of it, I just kind of written, after I saw that they were interested, I was scared a little bit, because I was like, can't write a song about your sex being on fire. I don't even get what it means. But your sex is on fire. And I just kept going over and over. And at first it was like this. Up going the original way. I didn't know what was going on with it, and Matthew finally was like, I think this song's going to be a hit. And so I was like, well, it's definitely not going on the record. But he was right.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
The label,
a song that I say or someone says is probably going to be popular, and he'll be like, oh, I think it's just in his head. He'll say, I don't like that song. I literally think he doesn't like it anymore. I don't think it's just because we say it's going to be popular. I think you just think, but so he always says like, that song should go on the record, and I get depressed for a couple days and go like, well, there goes our hit song. It's not going on the record, because obviously he makes all the decisions. So, but,
I don't make all the decisions.
But no, he came
I pick
around
out
to
the outfits, but that's about it.
He came around to it, and so yeah.
No, he was right. It was a hit, and that's what scared me a little bit, because I was like, man, we have written a lot of great songs. And for the first one to be a hit about sex being on fire, like, what does that even mean, Like, because I didn't get it. It was like, man, I've written songs about life and death and religion and all these important things. And I think I've tackled it pretty well. And then our first big hit was about your sex being on fire. So I didn't get it, but now, as soon as I go, and the crowd goes, wah, wah, wah.
It's really popular in the clubs. A lot. They play it a lot in clubs.
They like this song, so God bless them. That means they like us. So, G-D.
I just remember that we were playing it back through the speakers in the studio, and I had an acoustic guitar, and it was kind of empty. So I thought it would be nice if there was like a faster part under the vocals. But it just ended up sounding like. So I don't know. Yeah, it worked under there. And then that's the part in the verses, and then the part in the chorus is where we just play the.
I'm on the old Gibson 1972 325. And I got a backup, but it doesn't sound as good. And this one, I think it's because of the hole that I've dug. Back when we were playing punk, like doing all that shit. Yeah, I don't know, this is my favorite guitar ever in the history of guitars. I have a couple, Angelo has a guitar that I really want. It's a tiny little acoustic. I think it's a special guitar, and I don't think he uses it well. He writes bad songs with it, and I think I could write good songs with it. I'm sure he's going to be pissed.
Angelo's going to hate us after this.
Angelo is my best friend. He will not hate me.
Angelo.
It's still up in the air with me.
No, he's had this guitar forever, right? I mean, since day one?
Yeah, Angelo got this on eBay.
Was this before the first record?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, for the first record. But the EP, I used a Tele. A little Telecaster. I saw Ryan Adams playing live, and he had this little black Tele that didn't have the little white, whatever it is. It was black on black, and I thought it was amazing. I love Ryan Adams. I think he's amazing. And I saw that, and I bought it, and every song on our EP, which is Molly's Chambers, Wicker Chair, Holy Roller Novocaine, Wasted Time. Is there something else on there? California Waiting on there. That's all my little Tele. And I love that little Tele. And I just found it the other day in my garage. It was buried and had like cobwebs all over it, and I was really pissed. I fired a bunch of people for hiding it like that. Not really. But yeah, this is the guitar since then that had my heart. And this, even though it's a vintage, it was perfect. And I did all this, and they've now shellacked it over, so it had like, it's not going to take the pickup out, but pretty amazing that I've gotten this far in 7 years. And Willie, obviously he has the best guitar in the world with the big old hole in it. Yeah. But it took him a long time to get there, and I think I've done pretty good in 7 years. I'm very much a blessed person. I have a wonderful woman in my life, and when I hold her, I feel like so good, and I feel so close to home. But it's also the same thing. Whenever my guitar is right here, I feel like I'm home, Even though I don't play it good, I play it with all my heart.
What do you use for amps? Anything in particular?
I started with the AC-15, the Vox. Eventually I went to AC-30, and then a matchless, and then I got tired of all the big noise, and I went back to the AC-30, and I think I might be back at the AC-15. If not, I've got 4 AC-15s, 4 of the last ones made, and I'm going to make a room out of it. I'm going to put rubber all over them. It's going to be my kid room. When a little kid hits their head, it's like, well, at least you hit your head on AC-15.
And do you bring those on the road? Is that what you use on stage too? The same way?
No, I have amps in the UK, and I have amps in America, because the UK are the people that really loved us at first, and they still love us. So we've spent more money there as far as like our music goes than we have in America, because America didn't really know that much about us in the beginning. But eventually one day maybe we'll get all of our amps from there and combine them with our amps here in America and put them together. People don't realize that, they think that we just started making music on the last record, but we've been doing it for a while, and we have quite a buildup of instruments and amps and things like that. One day we can run a circus, and the world will be very impressed by all of our instruments and all of our amps and all the things like that.
Well, what do you have? Is it AC-15s over there too? You got?
Yeah, I've got two AC-15s, two of the last AC-15s that were made over there. I got two matchless, two AC-30s, a bunch of 325s. But this is my number one, so it always goes with me. All of us have doubles of everything that we've ever had over there.
Right, cool.
Which is great.
Yeah, Matthew's at a Sheraton or casino. What is it?
Sheraton, yeah.
Yeah.
I started out playing actually the day I got to Nashville to join the band. The guys took me to an old music store and bought me a '71 Les Paul, which was absolutely incredible. Like, thought I'd hit the big time already, and played it for a while and played it live and stuff, and it was just kind of limited. It kind of limited me. Like, I couldn't do a lot of stuff. I couldn't get like a lot of good feedback and stuff that I wanted. So one day I went shopping with my cousin Nacho and went to a guitar store, and this was sitting there, and I played it, and it just felt so good to play. And the Epiphone Sheraton, yeah, that's.
How old is that?
I think it's an '83.
Okay.
And it stuck with me for a couple years.
That's
and
the original? Wow. That's the one from day one?
No, the
awesome.
Les Paul. I got that at home. That was '71. This was like '83. And then I moved on to just something that was a little bit better for live, which is the ES 137. And it's just a little bit better live, but this is still my favorite.
Right.
Even over the Les Paul.
But do you use this on stage?
I do for one song. I mean, I just kind of keep it back and let it rest. But no, it's the second. It's my backup guitar. So if the other one breaks, in the studio I mix it up a lot because Angelo brings in a lot of his cool stuff and we play around with things. But I mean, I usually use Ampeg Reverb Rocket for live. Always live.
Really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Since like 2004. So. And I just get the good stuff out of it. It's really easy. It seems like everything comes down.
Easy when you're really, really rich.
Which we're not yet. No, it's just easy. Everything comes back to feedback. Like, it's really easy for me to get, like, you're playing a solo and you get like the hum you want and stuff like that. Like, and that's why I got the Reverb Rocket and the big guitar. So you get a lot of feedback.